If you hold any Bitcoin, make sure to watch until the end of this video. I promise you, you're not going to regret doing so. Bitcoin this morning filled the CME gap at $88,200, the one that we've been screaming out of the top of our lungs for the past few weeks. And I'm very happy that we did. We pushed through it. We said the CME gap is a 97% chance of filling. And when everybody was bullish at 97, we said Bitcoin is going to come down to 88.2, and it finally did this morning. And in doing so, it created a brand new CME gap, which everyone is missing because it's a very tiny one. But most people don't know that whether if it's a CME gap is $10 or if it's $10,000, the gap itself, it doesn't matter. The same importance lies ahead, and there's still a 97% chance that this will end up closing. So in the short term, I have some cool updates to share with you. I have a cool update to share with you on the macro. President Trump spoke at Davos today, and he gave a statement on cryptocurrencies. We live streamed it on the Moonshow channel for 2 hours long. I wasn't expecting a crypto comment, but he went along and shared something. I'll give you the updates later on in the video, and we'll also go over the S&P 500. Guys, if you enjoy these updates, please make sure to destroy the like button. That would mean the world to me. It's free to do so. It takes one click. You don't have to do it now. Maybe you can decide by the end of the video if you enjoyed, if you learned something. If you can hit the like button, that would be awesome. If you're not subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe for daily updates and breaking news. We're super close to 65,000 subscribers. Let's see if we can reach it by the end of next week. If you're looking for a place to be trading Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, check out the links in the description down below. The first link will give you a $30,000, up to a $30,000 bonus when you sign up 2 weeks. And if you click the second link, you can join our trading competition, our free to join trading competition to get very cool rewards. With that said, let's go into Bitcoin and what we can expect for Bitcoin. So the CME gap is closed, but we have a new one at 93. I like that we have like a W formation, but you know, it's not, the current momentum isn't pushing through in the right direction like this double top did. There can be a gap of 20 to 30 days for a CME gap to end up filling. It's always better that we do it sooner rather than later. But in the very like short term is in the 15-minute 1 hourly time frame. I can't tell you how long it will take for the CME gap to fill. I just know that eventually it will. So I'm not jumping into any short positions per se. Yes, there's a bear flag. Yes, we're on the edge of the support of this bear flag. But because we have that 93K gap, I've decided not to jump into short positions. I was considering it. I was considering doing so. But now that we have the CME gap to the upside, I am being reluctant to jump into short positions on Ethereum. We're also on that neckline of that head and shoulders pattern. And I'm also reluctant to jump into short positions for Bitcoin. I think we will end up closing the 93K gap. And whilst we're at it, I think we will see that retest to the 200 daily moving average like we did so in the prior cycle, liquidating a bunch of short positions and then scamming the market like the market makers always do, and then going to the downside. Unlike a huge correction like the prior cycle, I don't see a 67% crash from the 200 daily moving average. I see a more modest crash into the mid 60s. Why we went into detail in a video where we talked about the production cost of Bitcoin. I'll put a card at the top right hand corner for you to go check it out. I think the mid 60s is a much more conservative target than the 30K and 20K price levels that most people are calling for. So that's Bitcoin and Ethereum. The S&P has this concerning repetition of patterns. We had the tariff pattern and then we went down last year. Now President Trump has this issue with Greenland and he's tariffing the EU countries. We're seeing tech stocks experience a correction. That's a leading indicator for the S&P to fall. So I'm not a fan of how the S&P is looking like. S&P measured in gold is also at a critical line. When you break it, historically, you go into recession. So I'm not very happy. We know that Bitcoin follows the S&P more so than it follows the precious metal market. It sucks, I know. But sadly, Bitcoin is not traded as a risk-off asset yet. It's traded more as a tech stock. One day it will change. And for the macro, the fact that it's not being traded like that shows you how big of an opportunity there is if you can buy and hold for the long term. Obviously, our bearishness is just for the short term. The macro, I think Bitcoin will go to millions of dollars. And I'm stacking to my spot bag for the long term almost every single day. So there's no issues there. But in the short term, there's just warning signs. You know, we still don't have clarity on what the Supreme Court is going to rule tariffs with. If it's illegal or not, there's a higher chance that it will be legal. And we know that a lot of President Trump's foreign policy when it comes to Greenland and other things, they're fully reliant on tariffs. So if tariffs are gone, then I don't see it being good for the markets. I think that uncertainty will add to the bearishness. So for now, I'm cautious. In the short term. I see Bitcoin reclaiming the CME gap. I see Bitcoin retesting the 200 daily moving average. But because we follow the S&P 500, because there are warning signs, again, I see that mid 60s, 65, upper or lower 70s being tagged throughout this year. And then from 2027 onwards, we can reevaluate and reassess. But these are my expectations at this moment in time. The S&P erased all of its gains from 2026. It was the first time that Jim Cramer has been right? It's history. Jim Cramer is practically always wrong, but for the first time, he got it right. And I just want to give a shout out to Jim Cramer because you know what? A broken clock is also right once, twice a day. And that was something that Jim Cramer got right. So shout out to Jim Cramer. But that wraps up our video. Guys, make sure to be staying tuned and having your notification bells on because like I said, the Supreme Court need to give a tariff decision this week. Once they do, I expect market volatility. Secondly, we will probably get the decision on who will be nominated as the Fed chair from Trump's Davos speech. We know it's not going to be Judy Shelton. All of these individuals, I mean, the big ones, Christopher Waller, Rick Ryder, Kevin Warsh, Kevin Hassett, they're all crypto bulls. So I don't think it matters who's going to be picked, but as soon as it's announced, I expect short-term volatility. We will cover that live if necessary, so make sure to have your notification bells on. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you all on the next update video very soon. Bye-bye, everyone. Oh, wait, hold on. What did Trump say about crypto? He mentioned that he's looking forward to signing the crypto market structure bill. So as you know, the crypto market structure bill is a piece of legislation that is currently in congressional approval stage that will segment what is a commodity, what is a security, and what is a meme coin. That legislative clarity will enable institutions to invest billions of dollars into altcoins like they did into Bitcoin. There's been a little bit of struggle with this Clarity Act bill because the big banks, they were trying to remove the stablecoin APY yields. Right now, with stablecoins, you can get a better yield than you can get with your dollars at the bank. The banks see this as competition. They want to bring down stablecoins. So they were being sneaky and they were adding clauses into this market structure bill to kill the stablecoin innovation. Thankfully, crypto lobbyists like Coinbase spotted it. They said, no, we're not going to go through with it. So now they're trying to arrange a sort of deal with the banks to make sure that stablecoin innovation is not hindered. And once that's done, before Trump potentially loses the midterms, it would be great to get this bill signed and passed into law so that we can get that inflow into altcoins in 2027. Guys, thank you for watching once again, and I'll see you at the next updates very soon. Bye-bye.